But first and foremost, I know y'all saw the Donald Trump's NFT. You know what I'm saying, when he came out with the laser eyes and everything like that, and it's really interesting to watch what's going on. Before I get into his NFT selling out and shit like that, I mean, of course it would. It was just a money move anyway. Actually, Donald Trump's NFT collection sold out, brought in 4.45 million dollars in just 12 hours. And I think that, I mean, Donald Trump has to he has to feel it in the air. We know that Donald Trump is good at reading the room. He has to feel it in the air that his prospects and just the odds are starting to really stack up against him. At the end of the day, just because he's a man, and Ron DeSantis, love him or hate him, he really has a good path ahead of him politically. He's a very young man when it comes to politics, what, 44, 45 years old or something like that. Very popular in Florida, and he absolutely stands for everything that the Republican Party wants and likes. And at the end of the day, not just with Trump losing the 2020 election, but also with these midterms, it's really common for, in general, for whatever the weaker party is to really sweep in the midterms. That's common. That happens all the time. It's not like that's something that we've seen that many times. But for the Republican Party to have done as lackluster and mediocre as they did in the midterms, at the end of the day, if they don't win, they don't have any power. And they know that. So, Donald Trump has to feel that in the air. And you can kind of see that in his voice and his face, you know what I'm saying? And just his energy on the NFT commercial, and just when he's out and about, because he's just not the pillar that he once was. However, I don't want to write him off too quick, because at the end of the day, it's not like there's a huge field full of people in a two-party system, so it's true that Ron DeSantis is strong and he has a good path ahead of him, but we'll see what happens. There's still a year and a half ahead, and if Donald Trump, again, he sold out his NFT collection in 12 hours, so it's really not accurate for anybody to say, oh, he's just out of here. Like, no, let's give it some time. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what's up. But let's read this here. Obviously, he still has enough influence. So again, Donald Trump's he had 45,000 these NFTs in the collection, and excuse me, he had 45,000. Oh, give me a moment. Sorry, winter is upon us. But all 45,000 of them in the collection sold out, selling for almost $4.5 million. And again, as goofy as it was, and a lot of people are starting to say, "Oh, I'm not with it," but obviously he still has an audience. So we'll see what happens, because Donald Trump has a lot less to lose at this point, politically, than someone like Ron DeSantis, because he's already in the hot seat. You know what I'm saying? Trump has already got all the shit anyone could possibly throw at him thrown against him, and Ron DeSantis has his whole career ahead of him, which means that Donald Trump, he's going to be throwing haymakers. He's going to be coming at everybody. He's going to be acting a goddamn fool more than we ever seen. And he's allowed on Twitter, so it won't be that long, given the fact, just him being back on Twitter and him being in the situation he's in, it won't be long before he's back on Twitter doing his thing. So we'll see what happens, because Ron DeSantis doesn't strike me. He doesn't have the personality that Donald Trump does. One of the things about Trump, one of the reasons why he's successful with his base, is because he has a fuck you, I don't care personality, and that's powerful. And obviously he takes it to an extreme, but really it's just confidence amplified. Obviously that's not true confidence, but it's the smoke screen of it. But again, that's powerful. And I say that to say Ron DeSantis doesn't really exude that type of energy. He's just kind of like he doesn't have the same charisma. He doesn't have the same, I'll stand up and do whatever the fuck I want. So again, we'll see what really happens when these two really go head to head. Because, if Donald Trump is throwing haymakers at Ron, and Ron's just kind of like, like he's just like, oh, and he's lame, like, oh, if that's what I know you are, but what am I? Like, if he's on some lame ass bullshit like that, you know what I'm saying? Then, So all that to say, let's not count Trump out. And his NFT for as goofy as it was and as goofy as it is, it sold out in 12 hours for almost $4.5 million.